surreal to me. Those are some good drugs I'm taking, I guess. I think everybody has covered fat pretty well. I'm trying to think if I have anything to add to it. I am not oblivious to the fact that I'm pretty fucking fat. And I have been all my life. Is it something I said? Ask me what you've done, Shawn. The Addams family's leaving. Holy shit, how to clear a room. I think probably because I'm depressing and... Oh, yeah.
We like you.
Fuck them. I'm going to work at the suicide hotline. I'll give those fuckers the push they need. Here's one of my stories. I'm not going to carry on much, but the story builds a little momentum every time I tell it. In fact, now I call it the National Grid incident. I don't know if anybody has heard. Yeah, so being unemployed most of the time and having no money, it's a little challenging to stay on top of the bills. And National Grid is not high on my list. Sometimes they don't even fucking go in the hat because they piss me off. So I'm like 2 days away from shut off with National Grid, and I decided, well, even though I don't have the money, I'm gonna have to call them up and deal with it, see if I can make yet another payment arrangement. So it was one of those gloomy spring days, no sun out, gray skies. I thought, well, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and call these fuckers anyway. So I call, and they tell me that I'm not eligible for another payment arrangement, and that I will be shut off in 2 days. Well, okay, so they tell me I'll be shut off in 2 days. Now, I was a little depressed that day, mildly depressed, maybe clinically, who's to say? And I may have said to the woman on the other end, well, maybe I'll just fucking kill myself because dead people don't need power. So anyway, I hang up the phone, and about 5 minutes later, the colony police are at my door. Don't you hate when that happens? Yeah. And they said to me, do you know why we're here? And I'm thinking right away, oh my God, something happened with my son or my husband. You know, nobody else I really would give a fuck about. But. And they assured me that everything was okay with them. And they said to me, were you on the phone with National Grid a little while ago? And right away, I'm still not getting the full picture on it. I'm thinking, oh no, did I call her a fucking collection cunt? And she called the police. And that wasn't the case. They asked me if I had threatened to take my life, and I said, well, probably. I do every day, at least 5 times a day. So she apparently took me seriously and called the police. Well, now they're there, and they can't leave until they get me help or get me evaluated. So they called the mobile crisis unit. Well, they were fucking busy. So I wasn't even mobile crisis worthy. They had to call an ambulance, and I had to be brought down to Capital District Psych Center. And they wouldn't leave me alone for a minute, the police, till the ambulance got there. They wanted me to get dressed, but they wanted me to not wear a bra. I said, well, why can't I wear a bra? And they said, well, you could hang yourself with it. So I hung that bra, I held that bra up, and I said, look at this. You got more problems than me hurting myself. You give me a few rocks, I could take out a small village with this. So I make the ride of shame. A lot of my life is full with shame. Make the ride of shame down in the ambulance to the psychiatric center. Well, they took some initial information, then they put me in a locked room. to wait for the doctor to evaluate me. Well, in the meantime, my husband was on his way down. I called a friend of mine. So I'm sitting in the locked room. I smoke. I wasn't able to smoke, and I'm getting more depressed and anxious by the moment. And then I see him outside bringing the bell, my husband. So now he comes in, and he's in the locked room with me. So we're not talking much, you know. I think he's probably a little annoyed about the drama. And I thought being in this locked room alone was bad. This makes it look good. So finally, the doctor gets there to evaluate me, and he told me, I'm very sorry that you had to go through this. I can just see you're depressed, and rightfully so. And I only told him a few events in my life, and he realized it was justified. And he said, we'll just stop your medication a little bit and send you home. So at this point, I thought, maybe I can have a little fun with this. He said, I have to ask you, do you now or have you ever heard voices? And I said, no, do you? Because that's just fucking crazy. And he looked at me as if to say, you know, don't push it, honey. So I went home after that. I am going to give up the mic. I'm very sorry, but I really don't feel well. Thank you.
Let me disinfect. I don't want anybody else to do that.
Good. Sharon Dyer, everyone. Sharon Dyer. Sharon Dyer. Sharon Dyer.
Dying, yeah.
Yeah, she wiped it. Sharon always wipes.
I clean up my messes.
Oh.